Welcome to Smoke and Ice with Kelly and Wayne. This is the podcast where you're not only informed, but entertained. Sit back, relax, and remember, where there's smoke, there's fire. And you can't chill without ice. Now, here are your hosts, Kelly Allen and Wayne McCullers.
Welcome back to the Smoke and Ice podcast. Thank you for joining us again at the lounge. Here at the lounge, we like to light up, pour up, and just have great conversations. So thank you for joining us again. My name is Wayne McCullers.
And I'm Kelly Allen. And just to let you know, today's sip is one of my favorites, 1792 small batch bourbon.
Well, all right. Let's try some of that 1792.
Yeah, let me put this down and let's pour up.
All right. Thank you, my good ma'am. All right.
Well,
Ready?
cheers.
Cheers.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, that's smooth.
Oh, it's nice.
So, one thing I like about 1792, don't let the name fool you. It is very smooth. You can taste cinnamon, great caramel richness, and on the back end, a little bit of peppery fire. Not too much, but just a little bit.
Yes, and it pairs really well with this and it pairs really well with this stick that we have today. This is the Montecristo. Oh, and it is so good. It's got a creamy pull. It's nutmeg and cedar, and it is good.
Yeah, it is. It's a good pulling cigar. Little on the lighter burn side.
Yeah.
But it's still a phenomenal flavor that pairs just right with 1792.
Because I agree, it burns a little bit faster than the Java we did last week, but it's still a really, really great cigar.
This cigar, it doesn't need to scream. I mean, what would you say?
Well, I mean, it speaks for itself. It doesn't have to scream. You know, it just
Right.
it does everything you need with each pull. It just takes you to a place of comfort, relaxation, and good conversation, which we're about to get into.
So basically what I hear, this cigar is just like the podcast host, smooth.
Yes.
That's what I'm hearing. I got you, for sure. Uh-huh.
It's perfect for Smoke and Ice because it hits different, just like we do.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so today we're going to talk about the cost of comfort. Are you too safe to grow? And that's important, I think, because sometimes we get so comfortable in being safe that we stifle ourselves. We stifle our creativity, our artistic shine, or anything else that we want to do. We just stifle it. What do you think?
You know, I think you're right. I think it can be touchy. Being stagnant or being comfortable can lead to you not accomplishing a lot of things. Mm-hmm. You know, especially if you have your heart set on something or you want to reach a specific goal. Mm-hmm. Things can come along that makes you just be stifled and just comfortable. Mm-hmm. What about yourself?
Well, no, I completely agree. A lot of times it's more of how other people feel than what we feel or what we know will take us to that next level. Mm-hmm. And we get comfortable. You know, I've always been told, and I always believe that you surround yourself with people who are higher than you. You don't want to be them, but you may want to strive that direction. Right. If you just get comfortable in one place, and it doesn't mean leave people behind, but it just means that sometimes you have to change your environment to do different and be different.
Yeah, I think that's one-on-one basics. I think everybody should know is when you are at a certain point, you always want to surround yourself with people at the next point, because there can be a lot of wisdom, there can be a lot of knowledge that comes out of that, tidbits, various things that could help you go forward and at least navigate the path that you're trying to go down.
Right. So here's my question, and maybe you all have the same question. What is it that you think paralyzes us?
There could be a bevy of things. There could be just getting to a place, plain and simple, where you're just comfortable. You finally got there and you're good. Not everybody has the same drive, the same purpose. Some people might just want to get to this level, get there, and that's it. There's also other factors. There's, kids come along, family come along, other factors that may make you take a back seat. Mm-hmm. If you don't have any of those factors, then to make you take a back seat, then it's just you.
Well, it's easier when it's just you, but when you have other people that depend on you, I guess the deeper question is, why take a back seat? Why not strive to do a little bit more? Because it's all about balance. And if you have that balance, the better that you are, the better that everyone that is attached to you does as well. Doesn't that make sense?
It makes sense. And I think you make absolute sense, because when people depend on you, you should always want to push forward and go forward and get the better results, because when you benefit, if you're leading, when you benefit, everybody else benefits. So they may not understand that. Sometimes just along the way, that hurdle and humps just happen where you get comfortable. Right. And it's various things, but right. I agree with you.
And you said a key point in there, when you have people in your life that push you forward and that support you, because I think that's really important,
right,
is to have a village surrounding you where everyone is wanting the best for you and not trying to hold you down because of maybe the lack of their comfort in stepping out on faith or stepping out on something that they want to continue to do. Because without that, then you do become stifled, and you have to make that decision on how you interact with these people. And then it comes in with a whole other, amount of things of how, no one wants to make someone feel bad or want someone to make them feel like they're insignificant or that they don't matter, that they're not a part of it. But if they're not for you, then what do you do with that?
That's a good question. If they're not for you, if it's not for you, then you have to determine whether you are going to walk away from any situation or not. Because I say that because comfortability can have its good place and bad place depending on what you're trying to do. Mm-hmm. If you're a business-driven individual, then comfortability, you can't have it, because a wise man once told me, one of my good friends, like father figure, he said, if you want to be successful, depending on what you want to do and be successful, there's sacrifices that have to be made.
There are.
And if you are willing to take those sacrifices or not, that is the question. And sometimes those sacrifices hurt like hell. Mm-hmm. Sometimes you just trim the fat and it's easy. But are you willing to make those sacrifices? And that is the question that you have to decide. And those sacrifices aren't for everybody. Some people are cutthroat and don't care about nothing but them and themselves. Some people, there's other things they think about within the equation. So
I don't want to say people don't think of anyone else, but for me, my happiness is more important than worrying about what my decision is going to do. Because at the end of the day, if I am better off for it and I can move forward, then again, anyone who's attached to me will reap the benefits of what I do. So it's not about not caring about someone else, but if that baggage is dragging me along, or that baggage is not excelling me to the other next level, or that baggage is not making me happy, then I have to make that decision to say, what good am I to those that are still supposed to benefit if I am trying to sacrifice myself to make someone else happy? So it's not about being cutthroat or not caring. It's about caring about everyone else that is attached to me in whatever form that is going to go to that next level with me, because not everybody's meant to go to that next level. I always believe that there are people for a season and there are people for a lifetime. And those people for a lifetime, they adjust to your adjustments because they're supposed to be there. Nothing is off kilter. Nothing throws people off or those people off because they're supposed to be there. Whenever you see a change that you make and it throws someone else off, you have to question the timing of that individual. Is it time for them to go? Did we learn what we're supposed to learn from each other? And is it now the time to just say, it's been great, there's no love lost, but I'm now going to this level?
I hear you, and I definitely respect your opinion, and I agree with some of that, because in order to get to the next level on certain things, there are some certain people that will be there for a minute and then they move on, or you have to cut because they're draining you down. But when you have certain other investments within individuals, I get what you're saying, because if I'm successful, it can make all of us happy, eat, whatever you want to call it. But there are some roads when you have certain investment in individuals that I could go forward and do this, and man, I know I'll be great at it, but if I do, this could blow and kill everything off. You got to live with that. That's a part of that sacrifice. These are just scenarios. These scenarios don't apply to everybody. Everybody has their own scenarios. Some people, made sacrifices to go out to Hollywood, be homeless. You know what I mean? To get their acting career, but they were willing to make that sacrifice. For some it paid off, for some it didn't.
Right.
But it's still a part of the sacrifice and what you are willing to sacrifice.
I think, and that was a great segue, and we'll focus back in a second, but I'll expound on that just a bit, because you hear all the time people who say, oh, I went to Hollywood, I had $75 in my pocket, I had $45 in my pocket, and I had this dream. But here's the difference between someone who makes it and who doesn't. When you're not driven by your goal, because we all, regardless of what you believe in, what you do, everyone has that inner voice that leads you into the right direction. Now, if it is your own selfish desire and you're doing it just because it's something you want to, most of the time, yes, you will be out there in one of them little tents up under a bridge somewhere, and you had an idea, but it just didn't work. But for those people who did make it and they said, oh, I had to sleep in my car for 2 weeks. Oh, I had $75 and I made it. It's because they had that in them, that's what they were supposed to be. And they didn't allow anything behind them to hinder them to say, oh, you only got $75, you can't do that. They knew, I'm going there with this amount of money, but I know I'm going to make it because this is my destiny, this is my will. But had they let those naysayers in the back say, oh, you only got, oh, you only have, or oh, you can't, all the naysayers, then they would have stifled themselves and they wouldn't be the people they are now because of that. So it's more than just being your comfort. Everyone has a lane, and you have to find your lane. You have to know what your lane is in order to not to step out of it, so that you don't get comfortable. Because every road is look, we know highways are thousands of miles long, right?
Mm-hmm.
But if you're only comfortable with staying at mile markers 1 through 10, but you know you're supposed to be up at mile marker 85,
Right.
but you're back here because of what you're afraid of what everybody's going to say, everybody's going to think, what pain you have to go through, because nothing's easy.
So what everybody says and thinks is different from the sacrifice you might have to make. What everybody says and thinks, that might be something different. Talking is talking, but the sacrifice of are you willing to lose this? You might catch heat for stuff, that's different. But are you willing to lose this? Are you willing to lose whether it's important people, or are you willing to do this? And you know, success looks different for many different people, but that's what I'm saying about that. But I'm with you, the naysayers, the talkers, whatever, nah, keep going. That means nothing.
Well, we're not, I mean, but it's more than that, because you said something else in there. Are you willing to lose? But if you're losing because it's something that you're supposed to, and not every loss is permanent. Okay, because we just talk about some people take a while to adjust to things. There's an adjustment. There's some people find it hard for change, and that's okay, because everybody moves at different levels. But they will come around and say, "It's fine." It's fine. What's so funny?
I'm laughing. You just
Did I just say something that you already said?
No, I'm laughing because I'm listening to you talk. Keep talking.
Okay. There are adjustments, and sometimes it takes people longer to adjust, but they will adjust and come back around. So that's what I mean by not every loss is permanent. But you have to be comfortable, and I'm not talking about you, me, everybody, right? We all have to be comfortable with some sort of loss and realize that it's the best decision in order for us to go to that next level. Being comfortable and staying stagnant does not help us grow. Not addressing issues that are going on in the level we're at because we were supposed to move on and we chose not to because we were comfortable does not allow us to grow. It doesn't take us into that next realm of being able to experience life the way that it's been intended for us to experience it.
Right. I listen, you're saying a lot that I agree with.
Okay.
And my only point to that is for anybody, because it was told to me, and I think we've all seen it. Are you willing to make that sacrifice? That sacrifice can be more than some can bear. It can. It can be more than some can bear. To some, it might not be anything, but just are you willing to do that? Now, whatever your outcome is, that's between you, whoever you believe in, yourself, or whatever like that. But no matter what in life, are you willing to do that?
Right. Right.
I mean, a lot of the stuff you said, I definitely agree, because, you know, if you got the drive to do it, there's many things that I've wanted to do, and I've gotten to comfortable positions. Things happen in life, you know what I mean? But I had to stayed on that driven path. Ain't no telling, I could be in everybody's living room, but ain't no telling where I'd be. You know,
we can still be in everybody's living room. That's what we're at right now, right? Because you're gonna be back.
Right.
But yeah, I get that, and I just think that if everyone comes out of the box, we live in a society where there's only a small percentage of people that actually step outside of the box. And,
agreed.
And because this is we live in a social media society, we can tend to judge people. We can tend to say negative things about these people, but they're going to another level. And then when they get to that other level, then we're on their bandwagon, right? Then we're like, oh, look at them. They're doing this, they're doing that. Well, it's a process. You know, just because you choose to stay in your box, just because you choose to be unhappy, and that's most people who start talking about other people is because they're unhappy where they're at, and they're almost uncomfortable with the fact that this person chose to step out and do something different. And I think if we can get past that as a people, then we can be better for ourselves. Like, it's not about everybody else, it's about us.
Right. Now, I agree. We all have our own paths. And like you said, what that success looks like is, whether you're comfortable or not. Now, I do agree with you. If somebody becomes successful and you start talking and, as we say in the streets, hating on that person, then absolutely, you got stuff you need to work on. Don't knock anybody else's success because you don't know what they went through to get there. You don't know the sacrifices or anything they made to get there. So, absolutely.
Right.
But I mean, Dr. Allen, I mean, I hear
wow.
You. Oh, by the way.
I am not.
Yeah.
I am not.
Well, I'm just saying,
I did go to school for psychology, but I have not got my PhD. Now, if someone wants to give me an honorary one, because I know them flying out there, hit me up. I'll take one all day long.
No, we don't need that. I can run to the store right now and get a card and put doctor on there because we just handing them out. We just handed doctor out loosely, so I can put it on the card and stick it on your shirt.
Listen, no.
Let me say something real quick.
I like your ash too, by the way.
One thing about a good cigar, when it burns and burns good, it holds great ash. I have to dump this because I don't want to mess up the set.
And that is why, because I normally hold a good ash. Yeah. I know how to do that. I'm an avid, well, not an avid, not like him. I am a cigar smoker, but I did not want the set to burn and we get put out. So I've been knocking my ash out so we don't have it. But there will be times when we will be somewhere else and I'll show you my ash. I will.
Ash. A-S-H, ash. Okay, let's clarify that. Okay, ash.
That's what I said. And I think mine went out. So while you're talking, I'm gonna let you go on and talk, and I'm gonna light up myself. Normally I would have him do this. He is very much a gentleman, guys, but I'm gonna let him go on because I think I've been running my mouth a lot more.
No, this has been enjoyable. I like your
That's why he called me doctor. I don't appreciate that.
No. I like your viewpoints on it because, and that's the thing, like we talk about the podcast, just coming together, just giving different angles. But with that being said, like I said, everybody needs a push. So whatever your push is to get you over the hump, you have to do it. And what that looks like to you.
Right.
You having difficulties over there?
Don't do me. Just talk. I got you.
Okay. Story time.
It is story time. I will tell you guys about a time where I had to step out and not be so comfortable. I don't know. And if you didn't, let me tell you something. If you did not see the first episode when we introduced ourselves, I need you to go back and watch it. But that's okay. Finish this one and then go back. But anyway, for those that have come back around, I started off very timid. When you don't know, I don't have to be as great as everyone else, but I have to be great for me. And I always compared myself to other people, which kept me in a box of not sharing my writing, not sharing my voice, not sharing what I had to give. Because you're always, or at least I'll speak for myself, I was always comparing myself to other people. So for me, it was that moment where I had to push myself out of my box, out of my comfort level, to just be me and to sing the way I want to sing and to write and let my voice be heard and to let my pain turn into artistry, let my happiness turn into artistry, where I actually started to grow. And then I started getting people asking me to sing back up, asking me for my 2 cents on what I thought lyrics should be, asking me for, to be in a play on stage or asking me to do other things. And once you step out of your comfort zone, and this is just one of many, because my life has never been easy and there are a lot of things that I have been through, but this is just one that right now I'm willing to share. And there'll be more story time because we love to tell stories. But that's just my little gem that I want to give to let you know that you can be more than what you set yourself, but if you keep yourself in that box, you'll never grow. What about you?
Well said. Well, as you know, I don't sing, so if I sing, you'll probably turn the channel or something like that. So my story is a little different, and I'll be quick with it. Growing up, how I grew up, No different. Reaganomics, all that other stuff. Very poor, in poverty, things of that nature. As a teen, running very wild, doing street stuff, all types of stuff. One day, while I was chilling in the hood, I thought to myself, there's more to this. Don't get me wrong, in the hood, we always talk about, certain privileges people have. There's privileges in the hood. But, however, with that being said, I looked and said, there's more to this. So what I started doing was start doing things to just apply myself. Got a real job for once, worked in the basement and just worked my way up and just kept going. So the sacrifice of not being comfortable, I could have stayed easily. Generations around me did that, but just deciding there's more and I want more. And with that, you start doing more, you get more. And basically, long story short, here I am. Thank you.
Well, thank you so much, guys. This has been Smoke and Ice. Please make sure that you come back next week. But until then, like, share, subscribe, because if you don't subscribe, we can't be here for you. Again, this is Smoke and Ice. I'm Kelly.
I'm Wayne.
And let's spark something real.
You know it.
We hope you've enjoyed Smoke and Ice with Kelly and Wayne. Make sure you share, like, and subscribe. Tell a friend so they too can be informed and entertained. For more information about the show, go to smokeandice.net.